University Malaysia Kelantan UMK is an entrepreneurship-oriented university. We aim to fulfill the government's aspiration to produce a young generation that is not only well-educated but also possesses entrepreneurial spirit in their heart. UMK also ensures that the entire university operates within an entrepreneurial ecosystem which includes 10 faculties and is supported by institutions and centers of excellence implemented with innovation-based entrepreneurial disciplines. From the academic aspect, UMK offers 32 undergraduate programs and 20 postgraduate programs in the fields such as business and management, tourism and hospitality, science and technology, veterinary medicine, communication, languages, architecture, as well as creative technology and heritage. Additionally, UMK provides foundation programs in science, foundation in information technology (HEBAHAN), and pre-degree in science. UMK is committed to cultivating top-notch graduates to become industry leaders. Collaborating with globally recognized local corporate sectors and regional educational institution networks aim to strengthen UMK comprehensively. This commitment is evidenced by the increase in graduate employability percentage and graduates who create job opportunities through research, innovation and commercializations are pivotal aspects of UMK. With hashtag UMK for Society, UMK also actively engages in various community activities. We at UMK believe that our presence will offer a fresh perspective on knowledge advancement. Indeed, our core focus, entrepreneurship, will continuously make University Malaysia Kelantan relevant, unique and distinctive.
Let's see what's interesting at the Tropical Rainforest Research Centre, Faculty of Earth Sciences, Tropical Rainforest Research Centre, UMK-TRaCe. So, let's go! UMK-TRaCe is a strategic collaboration mechanism between University Malaysia Kelantan and Pulau Banding Foundation, focusing on eco-partnership hub, living lab field laboratories, and local and international research. Today, we will embark on an expedition rich in earth resources, flora and fauna, said to be among the oldest tropical rainforests in the world that is over 130 million years old. There are many exciting activities and expert sharing platforms covering research, entrepreneurship, and social responsibility programs for sustainable benefits attainment in preserving and conserving tropical rainforest treasures. This is a fascinating experience I've ever had in witnessing the breathtaking beauty of nature. Let's explore the natural world at UMK-TRaCe. See you soon!
From a place of purpose, where future matters. This is our journey with Yayasan MK. 25 years, one belief has guided us. When we care together, we grow together. These are the lives we've touched. Faces of hope, strength, and second chances. It all began with Tan Sri Datuk Dr. Haji Mustafa Kamal Abu Bakar and his wife Wan Sri Datin Hajah Wan Nong Wan Ibrahim's philanthropic vision to set up Yayasan MK in 2001. The first sparks, even before the establishment of Yayasan MK, were Pusat Tuition MK and program Kampung Angkat Kampung Selamat. Since then, Yayasan MK has been committed to giving back one life at a time. We don't just meet needs, but we also nurture passion and open doors to possibility. Our mission stands tall on 5 core pillars: education, health, religion, social welfare, and sports. Each one a path toward a better tomorrow. In Belum Temengor, program Saya Boleh offers living opportunities to orang asli children, instilling the belief that they can succeed, that education opens doors, even deep in the forest.
Initially, the Belum Temengor Forest Complex was Hutan Simpan Belum in contiguous with Hutan Simpan Temengor. The upper part has been declared as Royal Belum State Park, and my wish and my future hope that the upper part will be accepted as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the lower part will remain as a forest reserve for the future generations. This two contiguous forests is separated by Amanjaya Forest Reserve, which is on both sides of the Great Jeli Expressway, and both are rich with biodiversity in terms of flora and fauna.
Alan, we are proud to be part of WHV 2025 in Royal Belum this year. As for SMK, we are very cherish the moment of the cultural exchange with the Aborigines or the orang asli, with the volunteers or the participants. What's that?
Yeah, I think for Pulau Banding Foundation, we are very excited to host everybody, including international and the local volunteers at UMK-TRaCe.
Sorry. How are you? How are you?
I'm good.
Oh,
Just
finally.
a few things. It's new. It's been a while since I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, alright.
So, yes, I'll be ready. Dah ke?
I'm
Kita
so
dah ready?
nervous actually. So this is the actually mock-up for our merchandise this year.
I'm excited.
Alright,
Yeah.
okay. So you can see. A little bit nervous.
I am excited to see how Maria reacts today.
Oh,
I
right.
hope she's happy. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum. Sorry I'm late. Oh, so I can't believe we actually meet right here. I think the universe brought us right in the middle point. So, welcome to KL, Dr. Thad.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you for coming out of the jungle to meet us, meet
Thank
me
you.
here.
It's always a pleasure. It's always, I'm always excited to see you guys in person. And yeah, great. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. But really appreciate you taking the time to meet. What is this? Tell me. Oh, it's ready.
Alright, so this is our mock-up actually for merchandise for this year for World Heritage Volunteer.
Can I touch?
You can touch, you can see. Right?
Oh.
Isn't it
What
cute?
animal is this?
Maybe you can try to guess actually. What is that?
It's got wings, so I think it's a very cute squirrel. Also here, right?
Yeah,
flying
that's
squirrel.
Flying squirrel.
Soalan bocor.
This is gonna be our icon for this year.
Okay.
Which is the flying squirrel. All right.
Why the flying squirrel?
Actually, because this is one of the animal that can be found in the Pulau Banding and also the Belum itself.
Lovely.
Okay, and it has the name actually, which is the name is Temang.
Temang.
Yes. Maybe
That's very unique.
Why Temang?
Yeah.
Temang, alright. It's named after the Temenggor Lake, so Temang Temenggor Lake. So because you want this to be a local brand and also to represent the community there.
And it sounds a bit more local, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Let's work together for the future.
Hello everyone! I'm Temeng, your little forest friend from Royal Belum. Today, the forest is buzzing with excitement because when people from different places come together to care for nature, something special happens. It is my great honor to invite someone who helps guide these conversations beyond the forest and into universities, communities, and the world. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Dato Professor Insinyur Technologist Dr. Arham Abdullah, Vice-Chancellor of University Malaysia Kelantan, to deliver the officiating speech for the 2nd International Virtual Webinar Forum, World Heritage Volunteers 2025. The Honorable Dato Professor. The forest and the floor are yours.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon all of you, and a warm welcome from Malaysia. Honorable guests, esteemed colleagues, strategic partners, speakers, World Heritage volunteers, and participants, I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Mr. Lazare Alaundu Asomo, Director of World Heritage, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, the UNESCO World Heritage Center, the Global Coordinator at Better World, UNESCO Office in Jakarta, Regional Science Bureau for Asia and the Pacific, Cluster Office for Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines and Timor-Leste, and the Malaysian National Commission for UNESCO for entrusting University Malaysia Kelantan to host the 4th World Heritage Volunteers Program for Royal Belum State Park, Malaysia at the UMK Tropical Rainforest Research Center, Faculty of Earth Science together with our strategic partners Pulau Banding Foundation, Yayasan EMKY, Belum Rainforest Resort, Perak State Parks Corporation, and many more that will be featured throughout this auspicious virtual celebration. It is my great honor to officially open the 2nd International Webinar Forum of the UNESCO World Heritage Volunteers Royal Belum State Park 2025 with this year's important focus on women in conservation. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia and UNESCO, a shared commitment. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate Malaysia, represented by the Ministry of Education and the Office of the Permanent Delegation of Malaysia to UNESCO in Paris, on its successful election to the UNESCO Executive Board under Electoral Group 4 for the term 2025-2029. This appointment reflects Malaysia's continued commitment to UNESCO's core values in education, science, culture, and heritage protection, and we view it as an opportunity to further strengthen collaboration with member states across regions. In the same spirit, the World Heritage Volunteers Program reminds us that global leadership is built not through authority alone, but through service, cooperation, and inclusive participation. Values that are deeply aligned with today's discussion on women's roles in conservation. UMK's journey and achievements in 2025. At University Malaysia Kelantan, we believe universities must serve as bridges connecting knowledge with communities, research with real-world impact, and local action with global responsibility. In 2025, UMK has achieved several important milestones. We continue to be recognized in the Times Higher Education Impact and Asia rankings, reflecting our contribution to sustainable development. UMK was listed for the first time in the QS World University Rankings, marking a significant step in our global visibility. Our graduates continue to demonstrate strong employability and entrepreneurial outcomes, reinforcing UMK's role as an entrepreneurial and impact-driven university. These achievements are not ends in themselves. They are indicators of our commitment to purpose-driven education, societal relevance, and sustainable futures. UMK-TRaCe and regional impact. A key embodiment of this commitment is UMK-TRaCe at Pulau Banding. Belum Temenggor, established through strategic collaboration with the Pulau Banding Foundation and the EMKY Group. UMK-TRaCe serves as a living laboratory for tropical rainforest research, a platform for youth and volunteer engagement, a hub for community-centered conservation and knowledge exchange. Beyond Malaysia, UMK-TRaCe has also contributed to regional capacity-building efforts, including training and knowledge-sharing initiatives in Madagascar, reflecting the spirit of cooperation and shared stewardship of natural heritage. These efforts mirror the essence of the World Heritage Volunteers Program, learning across cultures, serving with humility, and protecting heritage through collective action. Women in conservation, from participation to leadership. Today's forum places a well-deserved spotlight on women in conservation. Across communities, forests, and heritage sites, women play essential roles. As educators and communicators, as researchers and practitioners, as community leaders and entrepreneurs. Women bring long-term thinking, empathy, and resilience, qualities that are indispensable for conservation and sustainability. At UMK, we recognize that women must not only be participants in conservation initiatives, but leaders, decision-makers, and innovators shaping sustainable solutions for the future. I would like to commend the organizers, speakers, and partners who have made this forum possible, and to thank the UNESCO World Heritage Volunteers community for your continued dedication to protecting our shared heritage. May today's discussions inspire deeper collaboration, stronger leadership, and renewed commitment, especially in empowering women as stewards of conservation and sustainability. With that, it is my honor to officially declare the Second International Webinar Forum of the UNESCO World Heritage Volunteers Royal Belum State Park 2025 open. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Dato Professor and Senior Technologist, Dr. Arham Bin Abdullah, for those inspiring words, and for reminding us that caring for nature begins with vision, responsibility, and collaboration. Now, my forest friends, it's time to hear from the voices who work closely with communities, research, and real-world conservation. I am happy to invite our moderator for today's session, Dr. Wan Suryani Falik Adeba binti Wan Ibrahim from the Faculty of Bioengineering and Technology, University Malaysia Kelantan, to guide us through our panel discussion titled Women in Conservation, Leadership, Impact, and Purpose. Dr. Falik, the forest is listening, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. Thank you, Temeng. Thank you, Temeng. Thank you so much for the forest that's listening, and also the flowers is mine. Thank you once again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second International Virtual Webinar Forum on World Heritage Volunteers, Royal Belum State Park, Malaysia. Honorable guests, esteemed colleagues, strategic partners, speakers, World Heritage volunteers, and participants. We are honored to have your presence today for a program that celebrates heritage, people, and purpose with a special focus on women in conservation. Before we proceed, may I kindly remind all participants to register for this webinar in order to receive your exclusive e-certificate. The registration link has been shared in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, this webinar forum would not be complete without honoring a legacy that has shaped conservation, leadership, and empowerment. For this tribute speech, we are honored to listen to Datuk Professor Dr. Nik Maheran. She is a professor at University Malaysia Kelantan with decades of academic and leadership experience. She has held key administrative roles, including Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International at UMK, where she influenced academic policy, teaching quality, and university leadership initiatives. She has over 30 years of professional experience spanning academia and the public sector, including early roles as an investment analyst and tax executive before embarking on her academic career. Championing women entrepreneurs, she is the founder of Women Entrepreneurship Institute, WEC, a platform created to support youth and women in enterprise development and social innovation. She played a key role as a patron of the Women Entrepreneurship and Leadership WELL initiative under the Global Entrepreneurship Research and Innovation Center, GARIC, which connects the university with women's associations and NGOs to promote leadership and entrepreneurial opportunities for women. Ladies and gentlemen, we are deeply honored to present the tribute address entitled A Legacy of Leadership, Women, Conservation and Purpose by none other than Datuk Professor Dr. Nik Maheran Nik Mohammed, Professor, University Malaysia Kelantan, and founder of Women Entrepreneurship Institute, WEC. Ladies and gentlemen, Datuk Professor, with great respect, the forest is listening and the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum. Peace be upon all of you and a warm welcome from Malaysia. Distinguished guests, respected partners, dear colleagues, and the inspiring women and volunteers joining us today. Thank you for this honor, and thank you for allowing me to share this moment with all of you. Standing here today is a deeply humbling, not because of titles of achievement, but because this gathering represents something far greater than any one individual, a shared commitment to purpose, people, and the planet. When I began my journey in academia and public service, I did not imagine leadership as a position of authority. I stood I understood leadership as service, a responsibility to open doors, to create space, and to leave pathways clearer than we found them. Over the years, I have learned that leadership, especially for women, often requires courage, not to be louder, but to be steadfast. To remain grounded in values, even when the path is uncertain, and the conservation teaches us to this lesson beautifully. Nature does not rush, nature does not dominate, nature sustains. I believe having this conversation with the director of UMK-TRaCe once upon a time at Royal Belum, I said, sustaining our purpose and impact is key, just like how nature sustains itself. Women have always been guidance of continuity, of families, communities, culture and knowledge. In conservation, women bring what the world urgently needs today. Long thinking, empathy balanced with evidence, the ability to connect livelihood with landscapes. And this is not accidental, it is instinctive, and it is powerful. When women lead, conservation becomes inclusive. When women are empowered, sustainability becomes possible. One of the inspirations closest to my heart is the establishment of UMK-TRaCe. It is University Malaysia Kelantan Tropical Rainforest Research Centre by Faculty of Earth Science at Pulau Banding, Belum Temenggor Rainforest Complex. UMK-TRaCe was born from a shared vision between University Malaysia Kelantan, Pulau Banding Foundation and the NK Group. And it was built on a simple belief. Knowledge must meet nature, conservation must benefit communities, and sustainability must be lived, not theorized. UMK-TRaCe is not merely a research center. It is a living laboratory, a platform for youth, and a space where women researchers, educators, and leaders can work at the intersection of science, society, and stewardship. This is where conservation becomes human and where leadership becomes purpose. This year, UMK received second place for women or for Female Entrepreneurship Empowerment Award at the EEE Global Awards through the Ideas Project, Increasing Digital Skills and E-Commerce Among ASEAN MSMEs, supported by ASEAN ROK and the ASEAN Korean Cooperation Fund. I accept this recognition on behalf of where the community was served, the women who lead quietly but courageously, and the institution that believe empowerment is essential to sustainability. This reflects what I often describe as the woman entrepreneurship age, where women lead enterprises not only for profit, but for people, place, and purpose. Because conservation cannot stand alone without livelihood, and sustainability cannot be achieved without inclusion, this aligns with Malaysia's IPT Entrepreneurship Action Plan 2021-2025 and National Entrepreneurship Policy 2030, which we call it Dasar Keusahawanan Negara 2030. And this also aligns with a global call to design systems that are ethical, inclusive, and resilient. Through this journey, UMK has grown not just a national institution, but a global contributor to entrepreneurship, leadership, and sustainable development. Women have always been central to this journey, not as beneficiaries, but as leaders. To the women listening today, students, volunteers, researchers, rangers, educators, and community leaders, you do not need permission to lead. You do not need to conform to inherited definition of success. And you do not need to choose between compassion and competence. Your values are your strength. Your lived experience are your wisdom. and your purpose is your compass. Leadership rooted in care will always outlast leadership driven by power. As I reflect on this journey, I do not see an ending. I see continuity. Because legacy is not what we leave behind, it is what we nurture in others. May you continue to lead with courage, humility, and purpose. May conservation always remain human at its core. And may women continue to shape a future where sustainability is not an inspiration but a way of life. Best wishes to our panelists speaking today on women in conservation, and may this session inspire women and men around the world. Thank you for walking this journey with me, and thank you for choosing to care. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Dr. Professor Dr. Nate, for that meaningful and inspiring tribute to all women in conservation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving into our panel discussion session under the theme Women in Conservation, Leadership, Impact and Purpose. Today, we are honored to be in the presence of 3 inspiring women in conservation, whose leadership is deeply rooted in purpose, whose work creates real impact on the ground, and whose voices continue to shape more inclusive and sustainable pathways for conservation. Let me introduce our first panel, Dr. Sarah Nur Shazmin Muhammad Kamal, a PhD holder in agriculture policy, freshly graduated this year from the Institute of Tropical Agriculture and Food Security, ITA FOS UPM. She is an education and community officer with RIMAU, where she works closely with Orang Asli communities, particularly women, to strengthen education, empowerment, and conservation awareness. Her work focuses on community-based empowerment, including educating teachers, supporting literacy and numeracy programs, and enabling Orang Asli women to read and count as foundations for long-term resilience and leadership. That's a very mouthful work that you have done, mouthful for me, but it's like a very fruitful work that you've done so far, Dr. Sarah. Hello and welcome to the forum today.
Hello, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
It's my honor to be here.
Yes, we are honored to have you here. We are also honored, let me introduce our second panel, Lucy Wong. She is the site supervisor at the Tropical Rainforest Conservation and Research Center, TRCRC. Armed with an Asian MBA in Sustainability Management and a background in environmental science, she blends fieldwork, community collaboration, and conservation storytelling to help forest and people thrive together. I would like to welcome Lucy Wong on this.
Hi. Thank you for
Hello.
introductions. It's a very nice introduction from the World Heritage programs, and I guess it's very honored to have been following through WHV program since I guess 2023, and eventually honored to be invited as part of the panel sharing our work experience in the Belum Forest Complex today. Thank you, Dr. Fali.
Thank you so much for being with us here today. How are you, by the way? It's good?
Yep, as usual. But yeah, good.
All right, thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our third speaker, Hasna Rekotondrena, is a Malagasy environmentalist and founder of JADD Madagascar, Active Youth for Sustainable Development Madagascar, a youth-led organization dedicated to youth mobilization, sustainable development, natural resource management, and community empowerment. She holds degrees in geography and tourism and has been deeply involved in environmental and community action since 2008, believing that young people and local communities are essential drivers of positive change. Welcome, Hasna.
Hello. So I'm so excited to be part of this program. Thank you.
Thank you. How are you? All good?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks.
All right, thank you. Now, I have introduced all three panels for today. For the first session, we are going to speak to Dr. Sarah first. Can we have Dr. Sarah on screen, please? Okay. So, Dr. Sarah, could you introduce RIMAO and explain how your organization's work integrates education, community engagement, and conservation, especially with regard to women and indigenous communities?
First of all, Assalamualaikum. And pardon me if there's a moment line disappear because we have a quite limited access of internet here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same here.
All right. RIMAO, also known as the Persatuan Pelindung Harimau Malaysia, is a non-government organization which dedicate ourselves to preservation and conservation of Malayan tiger, and we are currently continuing our commitment in empowering the Jahai community throughout the education and all. So currently, all of our conservation effort is in the joint effort with all the indigenous ranges, which we have in the Royal Belum landscape, in the Royal Belum, especially in the Sungai Kerja area, and the Temenggo side, which is Amanjaya ranges. So what we have in education here is our core program would be the Rumah Baca, which is our preschool program.
Okay, I think that's me or... It's me or you? Hello? Yeah?
It's me. Okay.
We are at Rumah Baca just now.
Yes. So we have like four teachers, three from the Klewang side and one from Kerja side. So they have been showing good empowerment between them. Like first off, when I came in, they looked so shy and everything, but then throughout time, they have become empowered to be more outspoken to what they want for their family, what they need as a woman itself. So that's basically it. I think like we're gonna go details in next question, I guess. And we are currently have a Merak Muda program, which is a focus on the youth leadership. So from youth 10 to 15 years old, we encourage them to join us. It's like twice a year kind of program. To inspire it to become a rangers, maybe like their father, their brothers. So after they have graduated from from the Merak Muda, they could think about it as a ranger, as a career path, rather than have the traditional way of living, like gatherers, fishing fish, whatsoever. Yeah, and that's basically what we do in RIMAO in the education line.
Oh, I guess working with Orang Asli communities involves both traditional and modern skill. Now, from your experience, Dr. Sarah, how does enhanced literacy and education strengthen Orang Asli women's participation and leadership in conservation?
I think, and first of all, our teachers are coincidentally all a wife of petroleers. So they have them, and it's not just working with RIMAO. Their husband is either working as a ranger of RIMAO, WWF, or Taman Negeri, Perak State Park. So you can see here that the career path now, even though as a rangers, it diverse. So they now can have an option of living their life. They have equipped with a traditional way of living, but we are giving them more option to learn about the modern knowledge, which is like so the teachers as a educator, they are vital carrier of both traditional and modern. As a teachers themselves, I can see that they have boost in their self-confidence and they are more eager to learn a new thing. So I think like 2 months back, one of my teachers said, Sarah, could you teach us how to speak in English? I think, oh, you want to speak in English? Yeah, macam
I think we lost our panel once again. Let's just wait for a while, for a bit. So I think while waiting for her,
Hi, I'm back.
she's back. I thought while waiting for you, we'll play your slides on, but it's okay.
Oh,
just
okay.
continue. Just continue with your answer just now. You said you are sharing the story about the teacher wanted to learn English.
Yeah, my teachers wanted to learn English because at their village, occasionally the foreign tourists will come and they want to converse with the foreign tourists. They just don't want to sit there and just smile, babbing to the foreign tourists. They want to talk. They want to talk more to
They
other
want to
people.
communicate.
They want to communicate more. So as you can see here, this is like our rumah baca. We have now 4 rumah baca, 3 in Sungai Keja and 1 in Klewang. I think like we have more than 60 students now, and actually this is our teachers. Yeah, this is our teachers. They are young and eager to learn. Yeah. So while they have been educate their kids and other indigenous kids, we send them for training and all. I think we have one session of training in the Belum Rainforest Resort. It's partly co-funding by the Yayasan MK itself. And yeah, we are always looking forward to collaboration in education because anyway, we are working and serve the same community in the landscape.
So you mentioned about training just now. I was about to ask that question in case.
Yeah.
How about the syllabus?
Oh yeah, actually we are currently developing our own syllabus now because as you know, the engineers are way backdated from the mainstream education and all. So maybe the mainstream education seems like least relatable to them. So with the teachers are collecting information. I think it's more to preserve the culture and heritage study of orang asli itself, about their pantang larang, the taboos, right? The sewang tradition, buah traditional, makanan traditional, all that combined, and we'll make a worksheet out of that. So the student will learn 3M, membaca, menulis, mengeja, throughout the modules that built by their own community.
Oh, so you're preserving the traditional knowledge as well.
Yeah, because we don't want just to expose them to the modern, but we want them to know their traditional way in the better documentation.
Yeah. So Dr. Sarah, your collaboration with UMK-TRaCe includes projects on arts, craft, and nature-based products. How does integrating livelihoods activities with conservation empowerment create impact for women and their community?
I think from the art and craft session that we have done with UMK-TRaCe is our vision is so that women also can contribute to their household income. Yeah, as Prof said just before, because they have a lot of heritage and culture that hasn't been explored and hasn't been sampaikan in the proper way to the youth from the older generation. So this art and craft empowered women as consists that both trainee and trainers are from Jahai community. So we ourselves, not Rimau, not UMK-TRaCe, we are not teaching the youth. The one who's teaching them is actually their community itself. We find the trainer that has been trained, and they communicate and bond well as a trainee and trainer. I think like we only act as a coordinator.
Is there a certain module involved in this training for like training for trainers so that it can be properly credited with HRD Corp perhaps, so that we can do a proper training to the teachers and community over there?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. You get until I think like potential.
Is there any actually I got lost. Is there any proper training modules or made towards this for training for trainers so that it can be properly accredited, like for example with the HRD Corp, to train the teachers and also the communities over there in terms of the women empowerment and towards this conservation knowledge? Yeah.
Internally, we have done the training, but on the formal training for training like under HRDF, not yet. But on going a long term, we are going to send like all our teachers to khusus asuhan permata. Is I think like for the mainstream world is like is a need for them to become like a proper preschool teachers.
Accredited,
So
yes.
yeah. So as long as they got the certificate, I hope that they can continue doing this for a long time and pass it down to other generations.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Sarah, for that insightful or eye-opener about your work with Rimau and also with the Orang Asli women. Is there anything else that you want to share with us in regards to your work? Perhaps the one in the slides, maybe there's more you want to share? Am I lagging or she's lagging? She's lagging?
Hello.
Dr. Sarah, did she hear my question just now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think going forward, there will be a sending off the teachers to a khusus asas permata for they continuing their work as per generation goes by. And so far, I think I forgot to show you. This is like the 20 teaching module that we have been developed. Yeah, you can see here like asal usul cerita rakyat. For this, they are going to be. They already did the interview with the orang kampung and all. Yeah. So this is like one of the example. They're gonna create the stories and they're gonna do the picture of their relatable to their stories. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share with us, Dr. Sarah, based on your slides? Perhaps there's things that you missed out with your work.
I think I have said it all before previously. Yeah.
All right. So thank you once again to Dr. Sarah, our first panel that shared with us about her work with Rimau and also with women conservation on Orang Asli. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarah. We'll call you back once again once the question and answer session later.
Sure.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our second panel, Lucy Wong from TRC-RC. All right, Lucy, could you introduce TRC-RC's mission and explain how its work in forest restoration and biodiversity protection contributes to long-term conservation goal in Malaysia?
Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen. All right. Okay. Thank you, first of all, also for Dr. Sarah for sharing her very inspiring work, I guess, with the indigenous community. There's much, I guess, like familiarity between the works that I'm doing in the regions and also with, I guess, like Rimau has been spearheading in the conservation of the critically endangered Malayan tigers in the area. Myself, I'm Lucy. I'm from the Tropical Rainforest Conservation and Research Center. In short, we call TRC-RC. So on screen, you can see that's like living collections along the Gerik-Jeli Highway where we nurture native seedlings to be used for restorations along the Ahmad Forest Reserve. For TRC-RC, sorry, can you hear me quite? Okay, all right. Okay. Thanks.
Yes,
For
we can.
TRC-RC, yeah, sure. So the tropical rainforest living collections, the idea is for us to collect native and also endangered, rare and threatened seedlings from the rainforest, and we will nurture them, and eventually when it grows to a healthy stage, we will then plant them back into the forest around us, as you can see. The site that we currently base at is named after one of the RPS Air Banun near where we base, hence it's also called Banun. And it's actually just, I guess, like 15 minutes away from the UMK-TRaCe. On site, we have not just myself, we have like more than around 10 to 12 people staying on site. Most of us working together towards the conservation of the rainforest. Mainly what we do will be, as you can see in the pictures, we will go with the indigenous community to look for healthy mother trees, and we will collect trees, and we'll collect seedlings and seeds, and also which then make the center into like where we also conduct trainings with the indigenous community and also volunteers to help us with tree planting, or eventually learn about the importance of restorations and contribute towards the tree planting activity towards where they are. And on site as well, other than restoration, we also do biodiversity monitoring on site because we want to monitor the recovery of the biodiversity before and after restorations. Those are a very basics of some of the works that we do. And yeah, so my conservation journey with TRCRC began, I guess, actually it begins in the city of KL. So in TRCRC, we also have the other side at KL and the other side at recently Sabah. I began my journey with TRCRC back then as doing most of the work that TRCRC does, mostly seed survey and collections, going to the forest a lot. I guess before that, I didn't imagine there is a career possible in forest conservation. TRCRC kind of gave me the opportunity at the very beginnings, and I guess going to the forest, eventually knowing a bit more about the trees and everything, it grows towards, I grows the interest and also knowledge as well. I guess knowing more about the trees, what are the different, like when we look at different trees, what they have different names, different species, and eventually how to grow them into like a quality seedlings for us to be to collect to be used for restorations. And of course, other than just collecting the seeds, we also want to look for the different endangered species. I guess when we talk about endangered species, a lot of the time we know about the endangered fauna, which the endangered wildlife in the forest, the megafauna like the critically endangered Malayan tigers. They are essentially important because they are the predators in the forest. We also have the Asian elephants. So these are the more well-known one. But I guess working with TRCRC for sometimes I notice not just the animals, the plants are facing extinction risk as well because of different issues. It could be forest fragmentations. Forest fragmentations means when a big patch of forest, it was being break down into different patchments. They are not connected anymore. So these plants, they have limited space to reproduce, and they have different threats as well. So one of it being the Diplocarpaceae family, as you can see in the pictures, the wing seed. So I guess that is also the conservation focus for TRCRC. And I think working with TRCRC in the rainforest for a few years, I slowly, not until I got transferred to the current living collections at Perak, Garrick Perak, where most of the staff working on site are the indigenous community. And I guess as Dr. Sarah shared earlier, in the Belum Forest Complex, there are two indigenous community living around, which is the Jahai and Tema community. So when we are working in the landscape, it's inevitably that we will get along or work together with the indigenous community because they have so much knowledge to share. So when working with TRCRC, like those seeds that we collect, those field work in the forest, it gives us a lot of experience, and myself, I guess, like to learn about the way how the indigenous community see the forest, and also I guess how they interact with the nature and how their knowledge was built upon their experience with the forest. So I guess a lot of the time as well in species recognitions, while I'm not from botany background, the field team, the indigenous field team have assist and help us a lot in like identification of different seeds and also tell us the story about how these different animals in the forest is using these different species of trees and what animals is associated with these different trees in the forest. So I guess from there, a few years of working together, it gives us the idea to, and I guess one of the most interesting thing is also that we learn a lot in the language that they are using to address certain species. And we wanted to document that to as like a educational material to also to be passed down to the next generations. So that's when we have the idea to start the projects to lead the publications of a children's storybook that was titled Senoid Sero. So Senoid means human in Tema, and Serok means forest in bahasa in the Tema language. Yeah, so when we're working out on how the title came about is that when we're working out on the writing of the stories and also collecting ideas from the community, the title is actually the last thing that came about. Yeah, so when we have the books ready, we have the material ready, and then we are like, now we need a title for the book. So I guess like one of my colleagues, he helped to ask the community, and we have a few ideas, and then one of the ideas that came about from the community is called Senoid Sero. Hence, I guess the title itself is simple and straightforward enough for us to give it identity to the children book. So we kind of name it as Senoid Sero. And I guess after the publication, we also do a book launch with the community where we share the book, which this particular village in the RPS Aibanun, which is called Kapung Semelo. This is also where most of the stories ideas were inspired. Hence, we have that book launch with the children and the women in the village. I guess one thing to highlight through the experience is that before this, we didn't really have the opportunity or chance to do any programs with the women and also children in the village. Most of the time, we engage with the guy and the youth and also the elders to do tree planting, because most of the work that we are doing on site as required very labor intensive. So most of the guy will join us, and then but I guess through the book launch program, we are actually able to involve most the from the other group as well. From the female, they come to the forest with us, as you can see in the pictures, and the children. So we had a really fun time and good time in terms of the sharings. And I guess the whole journey and the whole journey and the whole program wouldn't be possible without some of the other members or colleagues in the projects. I would like to shout out to them. Like I think one of the reflections I would have to myself most of the time working in remote areas or working in myself. I'm from the state of Malacca, so it's a bit far from Perak. So I guess like working myself alone in the remote area is always not easy, and finding your allies definitely, I guess, can bring good comfort and also, I guess, partnership to yourself. Like I would say, like the first pictures is Lisa. She illustrated the book, the plant species, and second pictures is Hyro. He is the co-author, and also he also illustrated the whole storybook. And then the last one is Chinwen. She helped to draw some of the animals in the books. So so it brings me to the journey there, where I guess I would also like to share a bit on like the other team members on site working with me at the RCRC. I would like wind back a bit on my journey with the RCRC. So I started out as like an intern in the DRCRC, working out on biodiversity surveys, and then moving on as a nursery assistant, KL, and before I moved to Perak as a conservation executive, where I joined the other members on site, working mostly on programs, on communications, and I guess in a short span of 1 to 2 years, I moved on as the field coordinator, working with the different indigenous community, the field team, coordinating different work and also working with different staff. And then I guess moving on, I was taking a new role now as the site supervisor. So I guess that career transitions in a short 3 to 4 years, it has different challenge to myself, and I guess even maybe towards other people as well. So I guess like working together as a team, a few things that I would like to share from my perspective is that I guess a lot of the time, for myself is about stepping out from the comfort zone, even I guess like to put myself out there, working with a team of male dominant field team or even a staff. But I would say things are not possible without anyone. So I guess in the term of gender role, every role plays a part, I would say. So I would also like to thank the team to have the trust in me, the team members to have the trust in me to be able to lead certain projects to begin with. I guess starting from a small projects, the book publication projects, so like leading to a bigger team. I guess the other things in myself is also that always be that role model to inspire others to take actions. Like I guess first lead on something that you trust and you want to work out with, and then invite others. I would say like invite others not to join what you do, but rather invite others to join on the movement or mission that you believe. So I guess that's something that I learned through my career progressions with my mentor and my different managers that I work with, is that you always be that solutions to the challenge that you found. So always set out to be the solutions. I guess that's how you're starting to create a movement that you don't realize. And the other things that I also learning in the process is that always listen to other people. Most importantly, I guess one of the biggest reflections that I have when I was working out on the book projects with a small team is that a lot of the ideas for the storybooks, it begins with listening. Like a lot of the story ideas, it comes from listen carefully to the community. So whenever the community speaks, most of the time I'm the one who's listening, because I guess some of my experience is that when they are in a group of a lot of the elder people or male people, usually I'm the one who play the listening roles. And I'm very fortunate to have some of my colleagues who are there, to be the face, to communicate with the communities and things like that. But then through listening, I actually get a lot of ideas, and and you actually get to listen what the community actually wants and what they actually want to tell you. So I guess listen. And the other thing is also that I guess moving as at a more leadership positions, I also realized that it's very important to create opportunities for the whole team where you trust in to move together and to improve together. So it's not just about working on yourself or working on a work or working on like a KPIs or a task, but it's more so like create opportunities for different members in your team, for them to be able to grow and also to follow, to work through the roles that they are enhancing in. So I guess that's one. And I think the last note that I would like to share as well in terms of working in a team management is also that always look out and always talk to your team and look out for the strength in your team members, and leveraging on their strengths. And eventually I guess different people working together, they have different dynamics. There's certainly they will be having different dynamics, but the most important thing is that to leverage on the strength of each other and also I guess to build trust. So when we leveraging on the strength of certain people, that's when you're able to build trust and to work together. I guess that's from some of my experience working with different team through the years, through the time, and different people. And that's something I can share. Also, I guess working in the new environments or in a remote area. I certainly enjoy the process, and I guess I would just like to shout out and thanks everyone who have trusted TRaCe, trusted myself in the progress. And I guess to fit into today's team, I also would just like to share on that some of the women's leadership who has inspired or even shaped my leadership role today. Can you? Okay. Yeah. So I guess I began my career before TRCRC. I began my career in WWF Malaysia as a communication assistant, and I'm very fortunate to work with Farisha Zaino, as mentioned here. So she's a communication manager. I guess that time I was very young, is fresh grad. So I guess I would say at the time of my career, I was more on like a growing stage. Farisha is very helpful there to, show me how to work in communications. I didn't come from a communication background. I'm from environmental science background. So that's Farisha. And moving on, I'm very fortunate to work with Nesha. Nesha is an Indonesian marine conservation scientist and project manager. So during the time when I was working in Indonesia in the marine conservation work, I kind of see her as the role model, like someone that I want to look up to and I want to be. So I guess that was the time where I was getting inspired a lot and imagine a lot of possibility in the conservation sectors when working with Nesha. And I guess moving on, that's bring me to TRCRC, which is my next work. That's when I started to work with Abza. Abza is my first managers in TRCRC, and I have been very fortunate to be able to work with her for 4 years. And I guess through the 4 years, there's a lot of up and downs, and Abza has been there, listening, be the mentor that I need the most through the time. And I learned a lot from her, a lot of wisdom, a lot of tips, and also moving around and moving forward. A lot of my, I guess, like the way I'm doing work now, or a lot of the leaderships that I am doing mainly that learning from Miss Abza. So I guess that's something that I can share, and that's why I guess like until today, when I was advancing in my career in conservations, I always remind myself that I want to be like someone that I have been inspired by, hopefully to inspire more conservationists or young conservationists into the future. So I guess that's what I can share today. Lastly, I would like to thank World Heritage Program and UMK-TRaCe for being the consistent partners, for engaging with TRCRC and believing in the work that we do. And I hope we have more collaborations into the future. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. That's very, very, how do I say this, deep introduction. I say introduction on TRCRC, and you've shared more on what you've done so far with the conservation work. And it's interesting to know about the book and the relationship, that how you get connected with the Orang Asli, and how I believe that the thing that you've mentioned just now, preserving the language of how they name the plants, the flora and fauna, is very important as well. So it's a good work, I must say that. And you have also shared with us the perks of working in a very good team, how we have to listen and trust. And also you have also introduced all the women that have been working with you throughout this career. So I guess it's very thorough sharing that you've shared with us. I have two more questions that's been prepared that I should ask to, so we can go with this conversation. Sorry, I get it mixed up with the conversation and conservation. Now, you see, as a field leader, the one of people that's working at the field, what do you see the unique strength or insights that you have seen among women that bring the rainforest conservation activities, whether in restoration, community engagement, and science? As you've mentioned just now, you are the only one figure, the female figure in a male dominant field. So perhaps you can share this women role.
Thanks for that question, Dr. Khalid. First, I would like to clarify, I'm not the only woman most of the time. There were a short span of time, like certain times, I mean, inevitably you would end up being the only woman in certain activities, certain programs, certain times. Not most of the time. I would say, but thank you for bringing up that question. I think the first thing that comes to my mind when you mentioned that is that I would say compassion. I guess that's a value that I notice in women leaderships, where we always want to learn about empathy, like learn and listen and have that value for empathy. I guess I would say sometimes I see in terms of gender roles, women is being put in a positions where we were being perceived as emotionals, like we have additional emotions and things like that. But I would also say that another perspective of looking at it is that we have that extra empathy and compassion and try to work things around, to understand from the other side. And I guess that's just we just need to catch a good balance in between, emotions and being compassion and empathy. I would say, like again, I didn't bring back to what I mentioned earlier, leveraging on the strengths on each gender role. I guess that is a very good dynamics for us as a woman to still be able to find a position that we can work in the team, whether it's a male dominant or even there is a good balance between male and female. I would say each gender role play a different roles, and certainly have our strengths to work together with. Yeah.
All right. The last question we have here is that what practical skills or experience for somebody that's passionate to work in this field of conservation that they should have?
Wow. Okay. Practical skills.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. For that, I guess I would say sharing from my experience, I would say first, look for your own strength, look for your own interest, look for your own the skills that you are good at, like what you like to do, what you enjoy to do, and see how your skills can fit into the team or can fit into the conservation's work that you want to do. Like for instance, myself, I would say I come from environmental science, of course, but I always see that gap of having like a practical skills from an academic background and to being able to work in conservations since young, not since young, but since I graduated. Like I see that gap. So I guess also hence I'm very thankful for people who give opportunities, because a lot of the time actually those skills you pick up through the workplace. So actually what you need is opportunity to be able to learn, and then I guess also find the skills and that you are good at, and then find a position for yourself in a team. Like for example, if I can give an example for myself, I like photography. When I first starting out, I like to take pictures, like those kind of net geo kind of pictures, how pictures can inspire a story, giving you a wow moment, and like I want to be in the rainforest just because these pictures is so nice, right? So I like to take pictures, and I guess that's also where I try and use my photography sometimes to be part of the conservation projects. Like I want to take new beautiful pictures that inspire actions or inspire thoughts or things like that. So I guess looking out for practical skills. Some people, another example is that some people like some of the team members in my team, in our team, they just like to go out into the field. A few people, they just like to be in the forest, do a lot of like setting up equipments, being in the forest. So if you like those things, then you find a position or find a way for yourself to work in that towards what you believe in, I would say. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lucy, for the sharing that you have shared with us. All the stories, it's very interesting. We'll come back to you later during the Q&A session. Thank you so much for what you have, the stories that you've shared so far. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move on to our third panel for today, which is Hasna Rakotondrena. Hasna Rakotondrena. Hello, Hasna.
Yes. Hello. So once again, yeah. Yes, I hear you. Yes.
All right.
So once again, good morning or good afternoon, everybody.
What
So
time
thank
is
you
it?
It's 10:34.
Oh, it's morning over there. We are in the afternoon already here, 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
3:40, yeah. Okay, Hasna, could you please introduce JAD Madagascar and explain how your organization empower youth and women in sustainable development and environmental stewardship?
So thank you for the question. So, that Madagascar, or Active Youth for Sustainable Development, it's a Malagasy youth-led organization established in 2013. So, I would like to share with a brief summary of our works. Our mission is to mobilize young people and contribute to the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals in Madagascar through youth initiative, especially at the local levels. Advocacy, knowledge transfer, and communication as well. So our organization works focused on social inclusion, community mobilization around the sustainable development, green and blue entrepreneurship, natural resource management, climate resilience, and citizen participation. It's by leading volunteers, for example, volunteering program, for example, for World Heritage Volunteers campaign in the rainforest of the Atnanan and in the Jai forest of the Anjefan as well. So we strongly believe that youth and women are not just beneficiary, but the caregivers of change. We must empower them through capacity building on, for example, on leadership, entrepreneurship, advocacy, so as well as the environmental education through local action such as the restoration activities, cleaning up, so we strengthen their participation in decision-making process and environmental stewardship at the local and national level.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. What I get from your sharing just now, you said you have to empower the youth not only with leadership, entrepreneurship, advocacy, and also environmental in order to preserve the biodiversity in the Madagascar, right? So if I listen to what Madagascar, I remember the cartoon, the Madagascar animation. It's very beautiful. Hopefully, inshallah, perhaps one day I'll visit Madagascar, who knows, to see the beautiful flora and fauna over there. So in the context of Madagascar unique biodiversity as what we have seen and social challenges, how does empowering women contribute to a stronger community resilience and effective conservation outcomes?
Yes, as I said, Madagascar biodiversity is globally unique due to its exceptionally high levels of endemism, shaped by millions of years of geographic isolation. So this makes the country a critical biodiversity hotspot. Home to iconic endemic species such as lemurs, chameleon, baobab, and marine resources. However, the majority of population lives in rural area and depends heavily on natural resources for survival. As a result, social challenges are deeply intertwined with environmental degradation. In addition, Madagascar is highly vulnerable to climate change, such as cyclones, floods, and drought, so which damage infrastructure, disrupt agriculture, and threaten community livelihoods. In this context, women play a central role in families and communities as caregivers, educators, and natural resource users. Empowering women strengthening community resilience by increasing environmental awareness and promoting as well sustainable practices at both household and community levels. So women participation leads to more inclusive approaches that better balance livelihood with ecosystem and biodiversity protection. Finally, the resilient community requires genuine opportunities for women to lead local initiatives and participate in community level governance. So, women empowerment therefore strengthens resilience and conservation by supporting economic development, improving natural resources management, and enhancing overall community well-being.
Okay. Well, yeah, women plays an important role as what you say starting in the root in the family itself, and also as educators and caregivers. Now, based on your work and collaborations that you've done so far, what lessons can regions like us, the Southeast Asia, or in Africa itself, to learn from one another regarding women-led conservation and community empowerment?
So, Southwest Asia and Africa share many common challenges, as including climate vulnerability, biodiversity threats, and social inclusion issues. So, there is a strong potential for cross-regional learning, particularly in combining traditional knowledge with modern scientific approaches. So there are also important cultural links between Africa and Southeast Asia that can support mutual understanding and collaboration. And women-led conservation initiatives show that the leadership model can be adapted across different cultural contexts by learning from one another's experience. And for example, research program, ecosystem restoration, income generating activities, both regions can strengthen sustainable community engagement and achieve long-term conservation outcomes through innovative approaches. Yeah, thank you.
Right. I have one last question. I guess I'm just a little bit more interested with JET Madagascar. Can you share with us some of the activities that you've done so far with JET Madagascar towards this conservation line or environmental line?
Yes, one of the main activities, with especially with youth and women, is about ecosystem restoration on the south of Madagascar, for example, or relate mangrove restoration with local communities. Yes, and our aim is for this year to restore 10 hectares of mangroves by especially for restore coastal cities and the coastal area. Yes, especially against the facing climate change and cyclone. Yes, is to restore the ecosystem as well.
This is to address the one that you've mentioned about cyclone, flood, and also climate change, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I believe the mangrove, like, okay, it has to anchor.
Yes.
So how does the restoration took place? I mean, like, do they go and plant new mangrove trees, or how did they do about it?
So we are implementing nursery, especially the nursery for the and after 3 months we are going to restore the land. And we also work with the local stakeholders for this campaign.
So do you have collaboration with Malaysia or UMK-TRaCe or UMK itself with that work? Not yet.
So we thought this program is funded now by Global Environment Facility, and we collaborate as well with the Ministry of Environment in Madagascar. And so we try to promote our action, especially with local communities, yes, and to engage them, especially for how is the important to restore forest, to restore landscape regarding the context of climate change.
Okay, thank you so much, Hasina, for the sharing session about the landscape of Madagascar, of what JET Madagascar is currently doing. And it's very inspiring how we need to empower the youth in order to create a movement, especially in this environmental effect. Also, the women role in helping or in shaping this youth in order, to create a better a future. So it starts at home. Thank you once again, Hasina. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the Q&A session, where at this time We warmly invite all participants to join us online to type your questions in the comment section. And please feel free if you want to direct your question to a specific panelist or the panel as a whole. So our team will be monitoring the comments and I will read out a selected question for our panelists to respond. Let's see if we have any question. Okay, we don't have any question currently at the moment. Is there any question? Okay, we have one question here towards all the panel. Out of all professions, why choose this career path and why conservation? Perhaps I think one of you, like each of you need to answer this question. This question comes from Shabil Hakim. He's one of the students who undertake the course, the forestry course here, forest technology course in our university. Towards all the panel, out of all profession, why do you choose this career path and why you choose conservation? We'll start with Sarah.
Hi, why conservation? Yeah, I think it's all about the community that involved in the conservation. Living in the academic life, I've always wanted to giving back to the community. So that's one big reason why I choose this job in conservation. Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Lucy.
Yeah, I guess I would say since from the very beginning, it stemmed from a very simple, idea that my love towards the nature. I guess like just want to work in the forest, work in the marine, work in anywhere the nature is basically. So I guess that's how I first choose to study environmental science. And I guess of course environmental science can have different outcome. You can work in different sector as well. But then the reason why I guess like I was the few ones that choose conservation after graduating. And I guess the reason why choosing conservation, of course, I guess I have that impression that you'll be in the field most of the time working in conservation. And I guess the other thing is also that pretty similar with what Dr. Sarah shared. I guess is that like basically I guess leaving a good impact in my life basically. Like so I want to like do something that is good for the environment or even like good for the people or even community, which eventually I guess in terms of when during career progressions, different motivations arise because different challenge arise. Then you found out the first motivation doesn't work anymore for you to progress, and then you found new motivations. I guess the more recent one is that I've seen how different conservationists or even academics or even scientists use their skills and their knowledge to improve a certain, I would say, marginalized communities, or even social change, like towards social change. So I guess that's kind of my recent motivations that I want to be that someone who can contribute towards because I would consider myself lucky to be able to study in a good university, to be able to work, to be able to have income with doing things that I like to do. So I want to be able to leverage on that privilege, I would call, towards the betterment of a certain marginalized community where they didn't have those resources to fight for what they want. Yeah, I guess that's why.
I may add, because I think like a lot of students, university students watching, and maybe they are thinking about what career path that they will eventually goes on. And I think coming from a background of economics and agriculture policy is totally not my field of study.
Yeah.
Working here with the indigenous people might say like someone would expect like someone with anthropologist background working as a community and education officer. But then as Lucy said before, in this conservationist field, we just need to find our strength and put our strength in field in whatever we can help. Even though like at a certain moment of time, maybe you are the only woman working with
Yeah.
all the rangers, but
Yeah.
it doesn't stop the work as a conservationist, economist ourselves. It goes back to your passion and I think you're now why to lah to help the people, community or
You know,
conservation.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I guess
The word.
what I got from Lucy just now is that she understands that she wants this since before she took the environmental science degree.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. That's great to know. Now let's hear from her, Hasna. We cannot hear you, Hasna. Is Hasna on? Hasna?
Yes, do you hear me now?
Yeah. The question just now. Yeah. Did you get the question just now?
Yes. So
Yeah.
I chose this career because I am passionate. I am passionate about on the environment. Since my childhood, I dreamed that I will be working on this environment issue, especially Madagascar. We need many people to work on us on this, especially for the environment conservation and biodiversity, as there is a many challenge as we are facing now regarding to the loss and the threat on biodiversity and natural resources. That's why I try to involve in this theme and this topic, and especially on the activities related to conservation action and as well as community empowerment.
All right. Thank you. We have another question here. Nowadays, many indigenous people are living in or are being relocated to government provided modern housing. How can architecture and interior architecture play a role in sustaining their cultural identity? Okay, now discuss with okay. I guess this question is about the agricultural part. Perhaps maybe Dr. Sarah can answer that, I guess. Yeah.
I think the architecture part, maybe like if we have like rancangan penempatan semula for the indigenous people, the JACWA will provide with the template of houses in the brick house and everything. I think we have raised this question to Timbalan Pengarah JACWA Perak about this situation. The Pengarah in Taman Negeri itself asked him whether there can be like some architecture of sustainable material more to their culture and heritage, because they usually they got the brick house and they will extend with a bamboo house next to the brick house, because the brick house to them is not sustainable for their lifestyle. Is and everything. So the JACWA state in terms of architecture, actually some landscape could request to JACWA about what kind of template that they want for the indigenous people that live in the certain landscape of the authority. But we must propose to the authority of JACWA, because they built the brick house accordingly to JKR punya safety regulation and all. And it changed throughout the times. Maybe like if you go to the old village, you could see like the penempatan orang asli with a template yang rumah kampung with all the kayu and whatnot, right? So as of now, they built the brick one. So that one is up to the landscape to propose to the authorities such as JACWA and JKR. But the proposed one must respectively to the safety and regulation by the JKR lah. Yeah.
Okay. Another one. This is last question, I guess, that we want to take for this evening. Hello, my question: would there be different perspective on how women can contribute to conservation between Asia and other regions? And I guess Lucy can take this question. Different perspective. Is there any different perspective with women working in the conservation between Asia and also other region? And I guess Lucy and Hasina later on can answer this question.
I think, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, there is so many perspective on how women can contribute to conservation between Asia and the other region. So I think that we need to sensitize, especially women, to lead some project, some program, to be about leadership especially, and about the project management, or to how to conduct better activities. And at this time, we need to. I think we need to collaborate and how to work together. For example, women from Madagascar and in Asia, about to share good practices about conservation, and especially how to involve women in the conservation actions. As you know, there is also a barrier, a cultural barrier about women participation in the field, especially as well in Madagascar. We realized that this challenge is still constitute a problem in some local communities, and also I think it's also prioritize women participation in advocacy and environmental strategy to better involve them in conservation and environmental action.
Thank you. Thank you, Hasna. In terms of Asian landscape, and particularly Malaysia, I guess Lucy can tell us, is there like a lot of women in this area, right? I think you have answered that during your speech just now, if I'm not mistaken, because you can relate that into the next question. I guess I want Lucy to take this question. The question said that what advice would you give to young women who want to stay resilient in conservation careers? It's related again to the Asian perspective just now, in Malaysian perspective, the involvement of women in conservation.
Right.
Lucy.
Thanks. Thank you for that. It looks like we have a new joiner from Dr. Sarah. So I saw there's a new faces there. I guess to answer that question, I guess the first one on the different perspective, like even in Malaysia, I would say on a micro skills, like on a local scale in Malaysia, I would say like understanding from a cultural identity of different in Malaysia, in different races or different region, even different states in Malaysia, understanding from that, I would say cultural, women's role in their cultural identity first, like that would say a lot on like how women's in your society can contribute in, I would say, conservations. On a macro scales, on a global scales, of course, also again, I guess, looking at reflecting on the different culture, different countries, where women stand, how much is gender equality play a role in the countries, like how forward is that, and like I would say different countries, different regions, and even different races have different progress and different role in that. And reflecting from there, I would say, of course, women empowerment is definitely something that we want to, how to say, encourage for more young women and children, even in education to begin with, right? But then I would say working towards a common goals, that certainly there is different progress and different steps to achieve that. Like as a woman in Malaysia, you might have different progress towards conservation. As a woman from indigenous community, for example, like there might be different challenges for different women in different background to voice out or even to participate in the activity that we want to do because of different social restrictions or even limitations. But then I would say that doesn't stop us, but understanding from where we come from can help us like to plan a better way forward, I would say, towards that goal. That's one. And the second one, advice to stay resilient. I guess I mentioned a bit in my sharing just now to find your allies. I would say that's the most important, because find people who believe in what you do, even though things can be hard sometimes, but if you have just one person, even I would say 1 or 2% that understand what you do, it means a lot when then you are just working by yourself. Yeah, I guess that if that helps. Yeah.
All right. Thank you once again to all our panelists and also to all the questions that have been addressed today, and also the sharing session. As we come to an end to this session, I would like to briefly reflect on what we have heard today across different contexts and region. One message is clear, that is women play a vital role in conservation, and not only as participants, but also as leaders, educators, and also change makers. We have learned that education empowers communities and builds confidence. Field-based conservation thrives through inclusive leadership, and sustainable conservation is strongest when women and youth are trusted to lead. So these insights reflect the true spirit of the UNESCO World Heritage Volunteers program, where heritage protection is rooted in people, purpose, and also in partnership. On behalf of the organizers, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to all our distinguished panelists that have learned a lot, and I'm glad that I'm the moderator for today's event so that I can learn a lot, and this is an eye-opening event for me, myself. We have Dr. Sarah Nur Shazmin Muhammad Kamal from Rimau, Malaysia. Thank you, Dr. Sarah, for being here today. We have Miss Lucy Wong from Tropical Rainforest Conservation and Research Center, TRCRC, and also Miss Hasina Rekotodrena from JAD Madagascar. Thank you once again to all of you for your dedication, leadership, and for generously sharing your experience with us today. And please keep up all of your good work. Thank you once again to all the panelists. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we are near the close of today's forum, we turn our attention to something that's very important, the future of the conservation. Because while policies, research, and institutions shape direction, it is young people who carry this work toward with energy, courage, and also fresh perspective. And it is therefore my great pleasure to introduce a young leader who represents the spirit of learning, service, and stewardship that we celebrate today. Please join me in welcoming Muhammad Amar bin Muhammad Supian, President of TRaCe Research and Conservation Explorers TRaCe from the Center of Holistic Student Development and Student Leadership, University of Malaysia, Kelantan. Welcome, Amar. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, Assalamualaikum everyone, and good day for everyone also. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a really honor to be part of this World Heritage Volunteer webinar session. So again, my name is Amar. I'm the CEO of TRaCe Research and Conservation Explorers. At TRaCe, or we call it TRaCe. So TRaCe is a student-led club under UMK-TRaCe, supported by Pulau Banding Foundation. So TRaCe focus on research, conservation, exploration, and the most importantly is youth development. So today I didn't want to talk much about any technical term. Instead, I want to share you guys a little bit personal story about how I found my place in conservation, and why youth involvement is matter so much to me, and so and how small experience can grow something meaningfully. So I will start with a simple story about how TRaCe was born. TRaCe didn't start in a meeting room or proposal document or something formal. It was start with a car journey. So I remember that I'm driving with one of my friend in my own car to join the volunteer program at TRaCe. During that journey, I had a lot time to think. When I arrived, when I join the volunteering, and I realized something that very important. I realized that the conservation work is full of passion. I didn't doubt that, but I think it's also lacking of support. So people that working in conservation, I think they need help. they need energy, they need hands, and most importantly, they need young people like me, to and communities to stand with them. And also at the same time, I realized that something that many of my friends actually love nature. They very love nature. They enjoy the nature. They enjoy the forest, animals, rivers, and heritage sites. And but when I ask them, how do you contribute? Most of them didn't know to answer that. I know they care about this. I know they care the nature, but they didn't know how to express that care, and they didn't know where to start or how to start. So at the moment, I got some idea in my mind. What if there was a space for young people to turn their love for nature into real actions? And also, what if there was a platform to that allow youth not only to talk about conservation, but also physically contribute to learn, to volunteer, to grow together with conservation practitioners. And that's how TRaCe was born. And also, TRaCe was created to give a chance, to give young people a chance to involve, a chance to support conservation efforts, and also a chance to protect nature and heritage. Just not just by emotionally, but also the practically. However, sometimes I feel a little sad about this because nowadays I see some of my friends they are slowly losing their connection with nature. uh, this not because they didn't care about this. I know they care, but uh, because of life gets busy, right? And also prioritize change, and the nature becomes something distant to them. And even more, I think many people out there still didn't understand much why conservation and heritage protection are so important. So recently, I watched a video at about an elephant that crossing the road, that causing the really bad traffic jam. So I read some of the comment that many comment that blamed that elephant, and one comment that I still remember until today, and it said like this: why is the elephant here? Why do they always cause problem? So the comment, I think, is really hurt me. I don't know why, because I think the real question is not why the elephant is there, but why the road is there in elephant's home. So the moment like this always remind me that why youth engagement matters so much. And if we fail to involve the younger generation today, I think awareness will slowly disappear tomorrow. So that's why program like World Heritage Volunteers are so important. They didn't just protect sites, but they also shape the mindset, and also build the understanding, and they create the generation that choose empathy over blame. So yeah, that's a future. That is the future that I believe in. So thank you.
Thank you, Amar. When you mentioned about youth and environment and how they lost connection with the nature, it reminds me of one news that I read, I think this week or last week, about a girl that saved people in the beach in Thailand during the tsunami. It was like 2 weeks prior that she listened her geography teacher talk about the signs to see when the tsunami is coming. So because of that geography class, that she can identify the signs at the beach, and she shouted that the tsunami is coming. So when she shouted that, apparently her parents and some of the adults over there trusted her, and they all rushed to the I think I can't remember what level in the hotel room, and most of them were saved. Like hundreds of lives were saved during that event. So I really believe that youth needs to be educated and empowered in order to understand what's going on with the nature. So that's a very that's very an eye-opening events that really happens. And unfortunately, fortunately, she has already saved many lives during the only because of that geography class. So Amar, I know that TRaCe is a youth-led how to say club, right? Is a club,
Yes,
right?
yes, it's a
Yes, a
club, right?
club. How about the membership inside there? How many members that you have currently, and how much of that member? How many of that members are women that involved in this conservation line?
Oh, so for that question, nowadays TRaCe is a quite new club. So for the members, I think around 50 members already in the club. So for the women, I think we are welcoming women to this club. We also have women members, and the threats not only welcome women, but they are really value the energy and also the creativity and leadership they bring to the club. And so I share a bit about the women participant in the club. So during the recent WHV volunteering program at Royal Belum, I had the chance to work with a group of dedicated women. The situation is I just give a simple instruction to them. We had about 40 minutes, and I asked them, what can we achieve in this time? And what happened next is so amazing. They quickly organized themselves, form a small team, delegated tasks, and complete everything efficiently and also confidently. It was inspiring to see how they naturally they took the initiative, uh, collaborate, and got things done. So in TRaCe, we also have a woman who take on technical roles, including Muslim women wearing hijab. Some of them even can teach the measurement techniques and also biomass assessment, which are important skill, that very important skill for conservation research. So seeing members step into these roles show that anyone, regardless of background or appearance, can contribute meaningfully to conservation. So what I love about this is that highlight an important truth about there are no single way to be conservationist. So everyone can be conservationist. So conservation is about patience, curiosity, teamwork, and also taking action. And those qualities come in many forms. So what I mean is track is space is also a space for women and young people to can young people that they can explore, they can learn, lead, and also make a real impact in participation in 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 their conservation world lah. And their participation doesn't just contribute to work itself. They also inspire others, strengthen the team, and also show the conservation is truly for everyone. So TRaCe also have women members, and also they definitely welcome to women. And honestly, as a CEO of this club, I think the club is stronger and more creative and more dynamic because of the talent and dedicated they bring. So thank you.
Now, you mentioned about the activities. Now, can you
Yes.
explain more about the activities that TRaCe has done so far?
Okay, so what's TRaCe has done so far? So just to share a little bit about TRaCe has been done so far. So since 2023, even before TRaCe was officially registered, we were already involved in conservation and volunteering activities. So our members joined the WHV program, help out in exhibition, and also support various activities at TRaCe whenever we could. And then 2024, we gratefully, TRaCe officially became a registered student club. So we really grateful for the support from UMK-TRaCe, Pulau Banding Foundation, and also Yayasan MK. That support really helped us to go with more direction. So since then, we have been involved in every WHV camp action since 2024, helping with activities, coordination, and also documentation. And also, even that we also had opportunities to assist with recording session with RTM. I didn't remember what title of the RTM recording session. I think you can search in YouTube. I think RTM Royal Belum. I think you can find it. Which was a great learning experience for our members. Also, recently we also start joining exhibition. We're representing 4 organizations, which is TRaCe, Pulau Banding Foundation, Yayasan MK, and TRaCe itself lah. And on top of that, we began to lead small program within UMK, mainly focus on awareness and getting more students involved in conservation. So TRaCe is still young, it's still quite a new club, so we are learning as we go. But inshallah, next year we are planning to organize something bigger, a bigger program led by TRaCe, and we're hoping to involve an international student as well. So for now, I think you just stay tuned or come and join our club and be part of the journey. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amar, for sharing with us about TRaCe, and I wish good journey ahead with TRaCe. Hopefully, TRaCe will, become one of the prominent group in conservation area in the future. Thank you once again, Amar, for joining us today and sharing about TRaCe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, under his leadership, TRaCe has grown into a vibrant student platform connecting research, conservation action, and volunteerism at UMK-TRaCe Royal Belum, while nurturing confidence, teamwork, and purpose among students. So what TRaCe has been doing is very good work in order to cultivate young minds with this conservation area. So hopefully our world, our biodiversity is preserved with these initiatives by these young people. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the conclusions of today's second international webinar forum of the UNESCO World Heritage Volunteers WHV Royal Belum State Park 2025, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to all speakers, panelists, partners, and participants for your valuable contributions and engagement. To formally conclude this meaningful session, it is now my honor to invite the representative of the Malaysian National Commission for UNESCO MNCU, and this closing remarks will be delivered by Mr. Khairul Hazlan Hamzah, Culture and Communication Program Officer, on behalf of Mr. Ahmadul Mukhtar bin Muhammad Hayani, Executive Secretary of the Malaysian National Commission for UNESCO. Mr. Khairul, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and warm greetings to all. Distinguished guests, respected speakers, partners, volunteers, and participants. On behalf of the Malaysian National Commission for UNESCO and representing Mr. Ahmadul Mukhtar bin Muhammad Hayani, Executive Secretary of the Malaysian National Commission for UNESCO, or MNCU for short, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to all who have contributed to the success of the second International Webinar Forum of the UNESCO World Heritage Volunteers, WHV, at Royal Belum State Park 2025. Today's forum has powerfully reaffirmed the role of people-centered conservation, and in particular the indispensable contributions of women as leaders, educators, researchers, and community builders in safeguarding our shared natural and cultural heritage. The discussions we have heard today from Malaysia to Madagascar reflect the very essence of UNESCO's mission to advance education, science, culture, and communication through international cooperation and mutual understanding. We commend University Malaysia Kelantan, UMK-TRaCe, and all strategic partners for providing a meaningful platform that connects global values with local action and for nurturing a generation of volunteers and practitioners who embody the spirit of service and stewardship. We also encourage the establishment of a strong network of experts and NGOs in order to strengthen collaboration and promote bottom-up approaches to ensure the sustainable safeguarding of the heritage. The World Heritage Volunteer Programs continues to demonstrate that conservation not only about protecting sites, but also about empowering people, strengthening communities, and fostering shared responsibility across borders and generations. As we conclude from this forum, let us carry forward three key reflections: that women's leadership is central to sustainable conservation, that heritage protection thrives through collaboration and volunteerism, and that youth engagement and capacity building are critical to shaping and empower resilient futures. These principles align closely with UNESCO's vision and Malaysia's continued commitment to advancing sustainable development and cultural understanding at the global level. In closing, I would like to thank all speakers, moderators, organizers, and participants for your dedication and valuable contributions. May these conversations begin today inspire continued collaboration, meaningful action, and inclusive leadership in conservation efforts worldwide. With that, on behalf of the Malaysian National Commission for UNESCO, I wish everyone continued success in your endeavors and hopefully see you again in World Heritage Volunteer 2026. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you, everyone. Hopefully, we'll see you again in 2026. With that, comes to the end of my task here. We'll end this session with a video from the organizer. Assalamualaikum.
And I think we will want to do this again for next year. So for this year, WHV 2025, it's a wrap!